All right, let's get off into this video. Let's get off into this video, make that bigger. Okay, I have to sit back because it's going to sound muffled. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching Sports Lab TV. Thank you guys for viewing the content. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Basketball season is coming up. You want to subscribe to the channel. Now, in my podcast, I spoke out against racism in sports. Racism in sports. And I really didn't mention racist owners and racism in management. Yes, these people own NBA teams and are racist, like Donald Sterling. Now, this particular lady, let's go down here. The WNBA needs to force Kelly Leoffler out. Leoffler is the co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, which is a WNBA team. She's also a U.S. Senator from Georgia. She's from Georgia. Now, what Leoffler has said, and this is a few weeks ago, what Leoffler has said publicly is at least as bad, if not worse, than what Donald Sterling said in a recorded conversation with his mistress. About the same. And Sterling was forced to sell the Los Angeles Clippers. It's time for the WNBA to do the same with Leoffler. The past week alone, Leoffler, she was on Fox News implying that Black Americans do not have the same constitutional rights as non-Black Americans. There's also a video supporting the anti-LGBTQ Family Policy Alliance called the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to strike down Louisiana's highly restrictive abortion law. In case you've forgotten, well, we know the WNBA, primarily Black female athletes, and a fair number are out as gay. And I wanted to read that because if I was to say something like that, I would be attacked. How do you know you're being stereotypical? That's just your opinion. Well, it's right here in the article. That's why I read from articles and I try to pull up stats. Because once I start talking from articles, people think I'm just making it up or I'm being stereotypical, but it's right here. And it's weird that this lady, this is her, would own a WNBA team. It's weird that this lady will own a WNBA team. We're not going to go over Donald Sterling. If you're watching this channel, you know about what Donald Sterling said. You know about what Donald Sterling said. Let's scroll down. Now, during a month where the WNBA and other leagues are promoting pride and giving their social media advertise rainbow makeovers as a show of support to the LGBTQ community, Leoffler vocal anti-LGBTQ stance is damaging, not just to the WNBA, but to the queer women who play on the team she co-owns. It's horrible. It's horrible that this lady is anti-African American, anti-gay, or anti-LGBTQ. If she co-owns a WNBA team, co-owns a WNBA team. Let's pull up another person. Now, this was a few years ago. This was a few years ago. Danny Ferry. You remember Danny Ferry? Danny Ferry was actually a player. Danny Ferry. Okay, so this lady still owns the WNBA, or co-owns the WNBA team. Donald Sterling, the NBA forced him to sell, but that wasn't the first time he had made insensitive comments towards minorities. He had a lawsuit because he didn't want to rent to Black and Hispanics in the LA area. So that wasn't the first time that he had, had issues, and nothing was done. Nothing's done with this lady, right? Nothing was done about this lady. Danny Ferry, this was about 6 years ago. Danny Ferry was a player in the NBA. And Danny Ferry, I believe, I pulled up the article. He's a general manager. Danny Ferry is a general manager. And he has some audio of him making insensitive comments about Luol Deng, who's a great player. Once upon a time, made the All Star once about four or five times. Played for Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat. Out of Duke. He's from Africa. This is horrible. Scroll down on what Danny Ferry said about Luol Deng. He's a good guy overall, but he's not perfect. He's got some African in him. And I don't say that in a bad way. He has a store out front that's beautiful and great, but he may be selling some counterfeit stuff behind you. When I say that, I mean, for example, he could come out and be an unnamed source for a story, and 2 years later, and come out and say that was absolutely not me. I can't believe someone said that, but you talk to reporters who know it was him. He could be a lawyer in the locker room when the coach is not around, but when the coach is around, he's the greatest guy in the world. He's a good guy. For example, in Chicago, they will tell you he was good for their culture, but he was not a culture setter. He played hard and all those things, but he was very worried about his bobblehead being the last one given away that year, or that there is not enough of stuff on him in the team story. He's a little bit of a complex guy. That's what he was saying about Luol Deng. And why would it? Why would a general manager be saying this about a particular player? Why? This article has a lot of pop-ups. Yeah, this article has a lot of pop-ups. A lot of pop-ups. That's why I don't bombard my website with a whole bunch of pop-ups. I sell my own products and services on my site. That's why I do what I do. But I'm digressing. This was Danny Ferry making these comments. And nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to Donald Sterling initially. Nothing happened to this lady. But let's go over with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade. They got Dwayne Wade backpedaling. Dwayne Wade agreed with some comments that Nick Cannon had said about Jewish people. And it was, they say anti-Semitic. But he was basically just agreeing with Louis Farrakhan said. And they got him backpedaling. Deshaun Jackson, they got him apologizing. And it's really coming down hard on him. And see, what they're doing is they want to make an example out of black folks. So when black folks start talking crazy, which nobody should be racist. We all should be getting along and we all should be working together. But I'm just telling you the double standards. When it's a black person, they're really going to make an example out of them because we're out here, black folks is out here protesting Black Lives Matter, and we're screaming out against police brutality and racial injustice. And then when an athlete or a black celebrity turn around and make an insensitive remark, especially towards Jewish people, which pretty much the group of people that own media, they're going to look at you funny. And they're like, hey, hypocrite. So they got D Wade backpedaling. It's just crazy what goes on. Michael Vick, they're still talking about Michael Vick and the dog fighting. The man done served his time in jail. Yet these guys can go out and kill sharks and hunt deer and hunt bears for sports, not for food. The double standards. Dwayne Wade deleted a tweet in support of TV host Nick Cannon in the wake of the entertainer being fired for making anti-Semitic remarks on a podcast. He said, "We are with you," followed by a black fist, "Keep leading." Wade later deleted the tweet and issued a second tweet to explain himself. That guy. Oh, man. That's an advertisement. Just the double standards in sports. The double standards. That's crazy. Okay, well, that being said, let's get into some more news. Let's get into some more news. Okay, so let's get into this. Top 5 prospect Jonathan Kuminga latest to bypass college for the G League. Okay. Top 5 prospect Jonathan Kuminga announced Wednesday night that he is bypassing college and joining the new G League professional pathway program. Kuminga cut his list to 5 options in May with Texas Tech, Auburn, Duke, and Kentucky joining the G League. But the G League program, which will provide 1-year development outside of minor league traditional team structure, was always the clear favorite. Texas Tech remained in the mix because his brother, Jonathan Tumwimbi, plays for the Red Raiders. What do you guys think about this? This Kuminga is the 5th ESPN top 100 prospect in 2020 class to choose the G League over college. Jalen Green was number 1, Isaiah Top, number 15, Desh Nix, and Kai Soto. Cummings, the number 4 prospect in 2020, was originally the number 1 recruit in 2021 class, but he graduated from Patrick School, Hillside, New Jersey in June and made his reclassification to 20 official on Wednesday. I am all for these guys doing it. My only thing is they should go back and get their education. I believe that if the baseball players could do it, turn pro right after high school, why can't these guys do it and turn pro after high school? Once again, double standards. Tennis players can go and turn pro at a young age right after high school. Baseball players can turn pro right after high school. So I think it's only for NBA play or excuse me, basketball players to be able to do it. Now the G League starts off, I think, between 100 grand a year, which is six-figure income. Not bad, and we don't know his living conditions. Who are we to determine this kid's or determine and dictate this kid's future? So I'm all for it. More power to him. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Go over and watch my podcast. I'm trying to upload this on my, well, this is going to be for my subscribers on my platform, Sports Lab. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Nate, I'm out.